All right, so here we are on the last section of the test, last part of the test, section A. And I expected the results on this part to be better than they were. So let's start with the fact that we always have to label the graph. So this is going to be the number of flies tied. This is going to be the time. And I have to give it a title. A lot of people forgot the title. Mr. L's flies. Okay. Now, the scale is going to stay 1 for 1. So I'm just going to go 0. And I don't want to mess it up too much. So I'm just going to count by 2's, but I'm going to use 2 boxes. So it's still a scale by 1. And then over here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You could write every one. That's not a problem. I'm just not going to do that because it looks a little cluttered that way. So it says here that I tie 3 flies an hour for 4 hours. So I start with no flies. 3 flies in the first hour, 3 flies in the second hour, 3 flies in the third hour, and 3 flies in the fourth hour. There is the first piece of the graph. Then I stop while I watch the Rangers crush the Islanders 5-1. Typical day. 5-1. There is my graph for 3 hours. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. For 3 hours I stop. Don't put the dots as part of your graph. That's just teaching. And then I start tying again, and over the next 3 hours I tie 2 flies per hour. So 2 per hour. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. That is my graph. Now the next part says, what's the average number of flies he tied per hour? That's average rate of change. So I'm going from 0, 0 to, this is the point 10, 18. So the average rate of change would be 18 minus 0 over 10 minus 0, which is 18 over 10, which is fine. Some kids converted to 1.8. As a rule, I don't like when kids convert because you can only get it more wrong. 18 over 10 is fully correct. So is 1.8. So if you put 1.8, you got that too. You averaged about 1.8 or 18 flies per hour. Now the last part says if you started at 11 p.m., what time did you finish? Well, this is the hours right here. So 10 hours is how long you worked. So if you started at 11 a.m. and you go 10 hours, you end up at 9 p.m. Okay? So that is your Relearn packet. Do a great job working this Relearn packet out. And let's get the grade where it belongs, and so on and so forth.